Step 9. Made direct amends to people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Another exercise in courage, because it takes true courage to walk up to somebody that you had harmed and let them know exactly what happened. Our direct amends really fall into a couple of different categories. There's the immediate amends, like I mentioned with my family. When I got out of treatment, I went to my wife and my son and I made a heartfelt apology and told them I would do better. And then I started practicing that immediately. I got a job, I went to work, I brought home the paycheck. I didn't lie, I didn't cheat. I made it to an AA meeting every day. I made it to an NA meeting. I did all the things that I was supposed to be doing anyway. I mean, I certainly didn't need an award for this. This is what I was supposed to be doing all along. But what I did was I actually started taking action and turning it into reality. There's other kinds of amends too. There's people on your list that maybe you can only make a partial amends to right now. And then there's other people that you're gonna have to make a deferred amends to. And what does that mean? Well, a partial amends means maybe you were paid in your expense account. Maybe you don't have the money to pay it all back right now. That's one way. Maybe you were paid in your expense account and nobody found out about it. And if the boss did find out about it, you would lose your job. So then here comes the question. Should I make that amends right now and put my family out in the street? Should I not be able to pay my bills, not be able to pay anybody else back? It's really dangerous to go it alone in spiritual affairs. All spiritually focused people, they get advice, they talk to somebody, they have somebody they can trust. So they want to make sure that they're not just going off and justifying poor behavior. So that's really why making a direct amends is so important. Because number one, it allows us to take all that baggage we've been carrying around and get rid of it once and for all. And that's extremely important because, again, at the subconscious level, a lot of this stuff is emotionally disturbing to us. We don't even realize. We make decisions that we carry around, we lie, we cheat, we steal, we do different things that are really not productive, and it doesn't make us feel good about ourselves. I had a man tell me one time, "You want better self-esteem?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Start doing some esteemable acts." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, how about doing something for somebody and asking for nothing back for it? How about doing the right thing when nobody's looking and you just do it because it's the right thing to do?" These are the type of things that build our self-esteem. These are the type of things that clear away the wreckage of our past and allow us to move forward in confidence. And step 9 is extremely important because without that, it's very difficult to move forward unencumbered by the weight of our past. When I started doing my step 9 amends, I did a lot of prayer before I did it. I was not too thrilled. I owed a lot of people a lot of money. I had excuses that I had made for the behavior I had. But when the timing is right, it's extremely important that you move forward. It's nice to get the opinion of your sponsor. He knows sometimes more quickly than you know when you're ready to do this step. I'll share one of my own experiences with you. I was in early recovery. I was nowhere near step 9. And I had an overwhelming sense that I had to make an amends to my father-in-law. And my father-in-law and I hadn't really been very cozy. He was a totally different man than I was. I was a biker, I was a partier. I lived all over the country. I took his oldest daughter with me on the ride of a lifetime. This man was a national Marine champion boxer. His idea of what life was about and my idea of what life was about were completely different. But I had an overwhelming sense that I had to talk to this man when I got out of treatment. So I grabbed him and I spoke with him. He never acted like a tough guy. He didn't act like a tough guy. He was a tough guy. He never had to put on an airs. You know what he told me? He said, "Just do the right thing." That's all he told me. And I'm so glad, I'm getting chills saying it right now because 3 weeks after that man told me that and just said to do the right thing by my daughter, he was 58 years old and he came down with a traumatic brain injury. He had the same disease that the football players get from too many shots to the head, and he never came back. And if I hadn't followed my instincts and I hadn't followed what I believe God was whispering in my ear, I never would have been able to make amends to this man. So if I would have put it off, it wouldn't have made any difference because he wouldn't have recognized it. And I thank God today that I did do that because I got to make the peace with him. And as I've gotten longer in my recovery, the amount of respect for the way this man carried himself, I used to think he was a loser. I used to think, who could want what this guy has? His idea of success, of honor, of what life is all about has made an impact on me that I'll never be able to repay. So what I'm saying here is, it's important to overcome your fear. It's important to move forward. It's important to make the right amends at the right time. If you're centered with a God consciousness, if you've got that step 3 down like we talked about, a God of your understanding, you will have the courage needed to move forward, own up to what you did, clean up your side of the street, and put the wreckage of your past in the past permanently.